USC recruiting absolutely dominated in the month of June. SC landed big-time commitments on both sides of the ball and really re-announced themselves as national powers in the recruiting world. However, Lincoln Riley and his staff are not done just yet. July looks to be a slower month overall in terms of quantity of commitments, but with heavy hitters like modern-day corner Zabian Brown and St. John Bosco linebacker Kingston V announcing later this month, this class still has the potential to grow and rise up in the rankings. So in today's video, we'll briefly recap a crazy June for USC and look forward to July and talk about all the potential commitments that could go SC's way. So a lot to get to today. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go. What's up guys, my name is G Greens and thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. Now we have a loaded video for you, but before we get into it, I do want to give a major shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. If you guys are heading to any games this year, make sure you head over to SeatGeek, and when you're checking out, make sure you use my promo code GGreens at checkout to get $20 off your first order. That's with 3 E's and 3 S's. So again, thank you so much to SeatGeek. Alright, so let's get into this. So looking back at June, it was a huge month for SC, 13 total commitments. 13, that's a huge number. Now I'm not going to go over every commit in this video, we'd be here forever, but I do have a playlist with videos breaking down all these kids, so if you want to hear more about a specific guy, make sure to check that out on my channel page. But there were two trends that really stood out to me that I want to talk about here for a second. The USC coaching staff heavily attacked both the offensive line and the secondary. 5 of those 13 commits were secondary guys, and another 4 were offensive linemen. Obviously, we know how important the offensive line is. Depth is crucial, and having as elite an offensive line coach as Coach Henson is, having a group of young talent in the building getting developed day in, day out is also crucial. But the amount of secondary guys we're taking in, yes, some of that does have to do with the fact that after this year you'll lose Kalen Bullock, Max Williams, and others. However, I think this really speaks to the recruiting philosophy of Alex Grinch. When you have 5 DBs on the field more often than not, you have to have at least 11 to 12 guys that can play. And that's at the low end, you probably want 14 to 15. And you saw it with all the secondary guys we brought in, there's so much positional versatility with these guys. They all have dynamic skill sets and can play a multitude of roles. But yeah, in other words, June was an enormous month for SC on the recruiting trail. But looking ahead to the month of July, this could be a very exciting month to say the least. We'll go over all of it, but there are 2 guys I want to focus on here. Those 2 guys being modern-day cornerback Zabian Brown and St. John Bosco linebacker Kingston V. Starting with Brown, his commitment date is set for this upcoming Sunday, July 9th. This recruitment is coming down to the wire. USC is absolutely in the mix, and some experts even give USC the edge here. It appears to really be a USC-Alabama battle. Zabian has said in the past that a dream of his is to play for Coach Saban in Tuscaloosa. However, USC has many things in its favor as well. There's the obvious ones, being close to home, the city of Los Angeles itself obviously, but the key here in my opinion is Zabian's relationship with USC cornerback coach Dante Williams. Everyone who slandered this man during the course of the last year owes him a big apology, by the way. Regardless if we land Zabian or not, Dante has been on fire as of late, and the corners appear to be taking big strides under his guidance on the field. As someone who has always defended Dante, it makes me very happy seeing him do as well as he is currently. But that relationship is absolutely a key factor in this recruitment. Now in terms of on the field, what exactly would USC be getting? Well, Zabian is as elite a defensive prospect as you'll find in this class. Number 7 corner in the country per the 247 composite, 6 foot, 180. I mean, this guy's big time. He can really do everything that this coaching staff will ask him to do. The defensive backs in Alex Grinch's scheme are very active. You have to be able to come up and play the run. Zabian can do that. He can cover, he's great at the line. I mean, he truly has everything you would want in a modern day corner. If I had to bet on what happens here though, I am leaning Alabama, but it's extremely close. Don't feel great about that prediction. He could easily go to USC. There's great factors for both. But hopefully you'll be hearing from me on Sunday because that means we landed him. So switching over to KVA here, Tim over at the USC Voice of College Football channel has said multiple times that Kingston would be the crown jewel of USC's recruiting class if we were to land him, and I think he's absolutely right. This kid is special. He really is. I mean, linebacker is not his position. It's his craft. That's clear when you watch him. He knows what the offense is doing before the ball is snapped. He prepares like a professional, and while his mind is arguably his best asset, this guy is an athlete. You see him in coverage, both in games and during 7-on-7 tournaments, and you're just blown away. This kid can really do everything from the linebacker position. Cover, rush the passer, play the run, he does all of it at a very high level. While I don't believe any player outside of a quarterback could be labeled as a must-get, especially when you're talking about high school players, this is as close to that as you're gonna get. And this is another recruitment that's coming down to the wire. He commits on July 23rd, so we're still a few weeks to go here, but every day that passes is good for USC. This is a kid that loves every school he goes to, and visits appear to have a big impact on him. So the more time spent just sitting down and thinking about things, I really have a feeling that USC will be the pick here. Ohio State and Notre Dame are very high up in their own right though, so it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. I do feel much better about KVA committing than I do Zabian as of now though. But some good stuff here. KVA talked to 247's Greg Biggins, and when talking about USC said, "I have a great connection with the USC staff since I've been there more than any other school. I already felt really comfortable with everyone, but we were able to build on that even more on my last visit. Coach Riley is a great guy, very genuine, very caring, and a family man. You can tell he cares for his players, and that's important, especially for my parents. They want to know that they can trust the coaches with me and I'll be taken care of, and I think they feel good about that with Coach Riley." And it wasn't just Coach Riley. I spent a lot of time with Coach Grinch, Coach Odom, Buki, and Taylor Mays too. They didn't just recruit me. They spent a lot of time around my parents too and built a strong connection with them. My parents trust the staff, and that's very important. They know I'll be taken care of if I go there. The program is doing well, on the right track, and Coach Riley has really turned things around. I like how they're recruiting, and the staff has really made me a high priority, and I think I would fit in really well there. Alright, so obviously hearing all of that is very encouraging, and I think the more he waits, you'd think factors like that would play a bigger role. So we'll have to wait to see on that one. Again, that's on July 23rd. But what about Lilburn, Georgia 5-star wideout Mike Matthews? Well, recent reports suggest that Tennessee has emerged as the clear favorite to land the wideout's commitment. This recruitment isn't over, but most reports don't have USC in the top 3. So again, not over, but we carry on. How about 5-star and #1 running back in the country, Taylor Tatum? USC is currently in a one-on-one battle with Oklahoma for Tatum's commitment. This is a recruitment that's very strange because the meat of this has nothing to do with football. It's baseball that's keeping Oklahoma in this thing. Taylor has stated that he's going to play baseball in college. And due to Oklahoma's recent baseball success and previous players like Kyler Murray balancing both, OU seems like the best choice. But hold up a second, who was Kyler's football coach when that whole plan was orchestrated? Lincoln Riley. So the notion that the same thing can't be done at SC really doesn't make any sense. And while SC's baseball program doesn't share the same recent success that OU's does, under first-year head coach Andy Stankiewicz, the Trojans took a huge step and should have been in the postseason. Even the national baseball media said we got screwed, so that's how you know it's bad. But it's absolutely a program in ascent, 100%, so I don't really get the big swing toward Oklahoma here. SC makes all the sense in the world. I'll believe it when I see it in terms of him committing to OU. And lastly for today, the Dylan Williams saga finally seems to be coming to an end. Dylan is scheduled to commit tomorrow, July 7th, and he's received several crystal balls from Michigan State. So good for him, happy this one's over. There was the whole Scott Schrader thing a few weeks ago reporting he was going to take an official visit to USC, and it was clear as day Dylan just wanted some attention. He was responding to USC related posts with the eyeball emojis. This whole recruitment has been weird and exhausting, and I'm very thankful it's finally over. Alright guys, that is all of the recruiting intel we have today. We are going to be entering the last down period of the year before fall camp starts, so rest up because pretty soon here we're going to be full go and darting for the end of August, where the Trojans will kick off the year in week 0 against the Spartans of San Jose State. But guys, if you did enjoy the video today, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel if you're new. And if you want to help support the channel in an even bigger way, you can do so over on my Patreon for only $1 a month. Thank you all so much for being here today. You're all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on.